What's up, guys? Thank you so much for tuning into MoviePOP. Today we're going to be reviewing Hobbs and Shaw that me and DJ had a chance to see this week. So DJ, why don't you go ahead and take it away? Give us a little bit of an intro.
All right, guys. Well, hey, listen, Hobbs and Shaw, it's out. It's currently holding a 67% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, followed by a fucking surprising 90% audience approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Are you kidding me? Holy shit.
Yeah, that's huge, right?
Oh my.
Unless I'm drunk and I misread that, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. So it makes sense.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying the movie's like awful, but not a 90%er, dude. Whew.
Yeah. Well, considering what this is like the 9th series in the franchise.
I mean, it's not technically a Fast and Furious film, but it's like a spin-off. It says Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw, so it's like part of the universe, but it's not really part.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like I think they've made 9 films. So this would
this would be the 9th.
No, I think wasn't there like a Fast and Furious 9? I don't remember.
I thought there was an 8. Was the last one. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember. It's been a while. But yeah, they've made a lot of films. Yeah, go ahead.
The people love it, by God. So let's move forward into the critics' synopsis for this film. Hobbs and Shaw doesn't rev as high as the franchise's best installments, but it gets decent mileage out of its well-matched stars and over-the-top action sequences. So that's a pretty succinct description for what I saw. Damn, man. So I think this is really interesting because I asked you before we started recording, have you seen the full franchise?
Right.
And you said yes, right?
For the most part, yeah. I don't think there's any movies I've missed. There might be like one I might have missed, but for the most part, yeah, I've seen all of them.
Okay. So I was very curious to see how we're both going to view this movie because I've only seen Fast and the Furious, the original one.
Yeah. It's like the only one
as I'm watching this... What's that?
It's the only one really worth watching, honestly, at this point.
I've heard as much.
Yeah.
So that's funny because I'm wondering, like, while I'm watching this, and we'll get into this, but I'm like, I don't know. This is not really as engaging as I'd hope it'd be. So I wasn't sure if that was because I'm not like a super hardcore fan. I haven't seen the franchise or, whatever. But
it's like being a fan of a horror films. Like, horror films are not particularly, like, some are good, but most of them are pretty bad. And like they make a bunch of sequels. It's not that they're bad. It's just like you get sick of them really easily. Like me and you, I think, get sick of them really fast.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm surprised. I feel like this is like the Call of Duty of movies. Like they make one every few years or whatever, and everyone just eats them up. But that's
true.
Yeah.
Well, hey, so, going off that, I was expecting kind of like a Call of Duty franchise kind of thing. I wasn't really entirely sure what to expect.
Yeah.
What about you from your perspective?
I expected what was in the trailer, and I think for the most part that's what it is. It's like what's in the trailer is what you get, right? I feel like the best parts of the movie are probably in the trailer. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think so.
For the most part. I mean, there's a couple scenes that maybe, they don't show you the ending of those scenes, but they show you like most of that scene, and that's pretty much it. So let's dive right into some of those pros and cons because I know we don't have too many. I mean, there's not a lot to break down here, but we're going to give you the best we got.
All right, here we go. The best we got. Hey, the cinematography for this thing honestly was very visually breathtaking, and especially the cinematography, the lighting, the editing, like everything was so unique.
Samoa too was really nice. I liked the part.
Yeah, man, like the typography, everything, like the editing, like I said, it was a treat to watch.
Yeah,
I was so thrilled.
I mean, this is like triple A Hollywood, like best in the business type stuff. So they're not really skimping. Also, the talent, like it said in the synopsis, there's a lot of good talent here. But I mean, it's that there's not like they're good. There's just not a lot in the story. But keep going. Sorry.
No worries. So I'm going to go off 2 more. I've got the tone of the film is fantastic. It's very light, very comedic. That was it felt like a breath of fresh air. Considering, even though I haven't seen most of the franchise, but I understand the tone for the franchise in general. And then lastly, there were 2 very surprising cameos in this movie that were just a treat to see.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. How about you, man? What's some of your pros?
Did you think the film was like funny overall? Because honestly, I only liked the banter between Hobbs and Shaw. I didn't laugh. I never found myself really laughing. More of a chuckle.
Same here. I did not laugh at all. Not once.
Yeah.
Not once, man.
Got me a little bit. Like, their banter's pretty funny. Like, I was kind of chuckling, but no, like, hardcore, like, oh my god, that's hilarious,
Right. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I think the banter kind of steals the show, like, for the most part. I found that almost
the
more
banter,
enjoyable than some of the action scenes.
It lends itself very well to the tone of the film. So I'm appreciating the input, like, as I'm feeling the tone of the film. But is it making me laugh or even chuckle, as you said?
Yeah.
For me, no. I didn't even chuckle,
the audience?
really.
My audience was laughing.
Oh, the audience. My audience was laughing and chuckling here and there. Yeah,
I think
for
in
sure.
general, people will find it funny.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that it for your pros?
That's it, man.
The only additional thing I want to add is that I think Idris Elba as a villain and Vanessa Kirby, in their respective roles, they don't really steal the show, but I thought they were really good. Like Idris Elba was someone I was looking forward to seeing on screen. He doesn't have. I mean, he has a decent amount of screen time, but doesn't have like a massive amount. Like he's not like one of like the protagonists. So you're not gonna see him every time, but he has a lot of screen time. Vanessa Kirby's with him most of the time too. She's really attractive. She's really cool. So good to see her on screen. And I think that does it for our pros. Let's jump right into some of those cons.
God, dude, the story for this thing is abysmal.
Yep.
It is so bare bones.
Agreement. Yep.
So stupid.
There's almost no effort put into the story. Yeah.
No effort, dude. And it's the most shocking thing for me because I imagine they put a pretty penny into the production budget for this thing. And man, like if this movie had like a very engaging story, it would have helped out. Like it would have helped me be like totally engaged and involved with all the action sequences because even the action sequences, as breathtaking as they were, like in terms of a technical perspective, I did not give a shit about any of them up until the final third act where I was engaged for some reason. I don't know why.
In a lot of these movies, it's because I know you haven't seen a lot of them. It's always the same story. There's this super elusive, unknown company. Like a lot of them are like that. That's like all the Fast and Furious movies. Like they're always like, there's this elusive company that we have to stop. And it's like, dude, okay, I've heard it before. Like that's why like when I was watching it, I was like, oh wow, this is a really original story. Right. It's like it's not like it's very, very by the numbers. Very by the numbers. I mean, they do everything in the movie. Like the stuff is done well. It's just like you've seen it all before. You know, you guys have seen it all before. This is nothing new.
It wasn't helped by the fact that there's also some corny, like totally 1980s one-liners. Some very dubious or like very superficial character motivations, especially with Idris Elba. Like, why was he so motivated to be doing what he was doing with his, with his stakes as high as they were?
Part machine, so he's probably a little bit under mind control. I don't know.
I didn't get that impression, but still, like world domination.
Yeah, they don't really tell you, so I don't blame you.
And then lastly, the runtime. I'm really getting so pissed off, especially with the volume of films that we're watching. Yeah. I'm really getting pissed off at filmmakers getting so overindulgent with runtime. This movie was 2 hours and like 6 minutes. Yeah. Did not have the weight. For
a strictly action movie, I feel like that's a little excessive because like there is no story. Like the story is so bare bones. So yeah, I mean, I feel like a 2-hour film is not that bad, but when you're strictly selling action, you can cut it down a little bit. Yeah. There's some scenes in the movie that are kind of pointless. Yeah. That they could clearly cut out. It just like to elongate the story. I don't know. I feel like 2 hours is always what people shoot for, but like, dude,
it's pushing.
This could have been
an
hour 45, hour 30, and would have been fine.
I was ready. Honestly, dude, I was ready to walk out.
At the end,
but I'm like, I have to watch this because I'm reviewing it. So and I didn't stay for the post-credit scene. Apparently, there was one. Did you?
I did. Like, I don't remember if there's one. Is it like all the way after the credits, or is it just like?
I don't know. I left, dude. As soon as the title credits came up, I'm like, peace.
Well, it's so memorable. I don't remember what it was. But I stayed until the credits started rolling because I know there was like a little bit of a scene. I'll have to think about it. I don't remember what it was. Okay. Off the top of my head, but I don't think it's anything like, oh my god, the next Fast and Furious film. Like, it's nothing like that,
You ain't the MCU. Come on. End credits.
Yep.
That's it for my cons, bro. How about you, man?
You pretty much already encompassed mine. Mine were just the story felt long for how minimal it was, and the story was just super forgettable. Not a lot to break down here. This is pretty much an action/cars movie, so that's what you're getting. That's just so you know what you're getting yourself into, So let's give our scores.
Dude, I'm gonna give this I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5 bags of popcorn. That's 60%.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, me too. I think we're on the same page on this one. This is it does what it does well, but it's very by the numbers, very forgettable. Very by the numbers. I need to emphasize that. Because you have seen this shit before. This is not anything new. Just want to make that very clear. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, there you go. You have it from both of us. 3 out of 5 bags of popcorn, 60% for this bag of shit, almost bag of shit, called Hobbs and Shaw. So if you want to see more awesome movie reviews, trailer reactions, please make sure to follow us on social media. You can find all the links right down below.
And as always, we love your support. It means the world to us. We try really hard to get, to do stuff that you guys like. If you want to give us some comments, tell us, hey, we'd like to see this, or, anything you'd like us to change. We're very open to suggestions. But as always, thank you so much for watching.